think you can make it to the truck?
It's a comic book which is based on all the series after the assassination of President Kennedy. So you're a man, you're walking on a beach and you have lost your memories, you don't remember anything from your past. You are hunted by killers, and at the same time you're hunted also by the FBI, which accuses you of having killed the President of the United States. And in fact you're alone, you don't know exactly who you can trust, who you can rely on, and you will investigate to find your past back and to see if effectively you've killed him or not.
I'll pick you up on the other side.
Shoot him!
Sam? It's Janet. I just picked up an injured man on Brighton Beach. He's got no ID and can't remember a thing. I need to bring him in for a CAT scan as soon as possible. An hour? Perfect, we're on our way.
How are you feeling? Still no memory? I found this key in your pocket. Ever heard of Winslow Bank?
Here. Who's that?
Good time. Tell the mongoose to spot the target. I'll report back. Get over here. He's alive but in bad shape.
In fact, for us in French and Belgium, 13 is a real classic comic book. It's like Asterix or Tintin equivalent. Everyone has read it, and for us it was really interesting because it's really a fascinating storyline, and also we like the idea of adapting a comic book into video games. The style of the comic book was really specific and really difficult to adapt. Just to give you an example, the backgrounds in the comic book are very simple, so for us it was very difficult to respect the style and to build a world backgrounds and world levels into the game. So we tried to adapt it, and we took a look at many different comics books, specifically American ones, to see how they were built and how they were designed. And we readapted completely the style to create a new one, much more adapted to the video games. The idea was very simple. During the comic book, you're often hunted or captured, and you get to free yourself, and you don't have any weapon. And in fact, it's like 13 is like a James Bond, in fact, but he doesn't have any gadgets. He grabs whatever he can. So that's why we came to the idea of using any object as a weapon. Sometimes, for example, you're trapped, you've been arrested by the FBI, and you're inside the huge FBI office, and you don't want to kill the guys because you're not a murderer. So you don't have any weapons, so you use what you can find. So it can be a bottle, an ashtray, a chair, a shovel, whatever you can do, whatever you can find. It's really linked to the comic book style. We wanted to build a style, but also that it could be useful for the gameplay. So you know, sometimes in a comic book you've got onomatopoeias, and we wanted to make them useful for the game. So in stats levels, for example, you can see a tap 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 around the foot of your enemies, and you can see that through the walls or through a door. So it's really useful when you try to sneak inside the secret area, because if you're in front of the door and you see the tap tap tap, you know that there's someone on the other side. So you just wait, you come around and go by so that you can pass. And that was very useful for us because we wanted some kind of synergy between the style and the gameplay. Furthermore, we got also all the pop-ups. This is some kind of the sixth sense, because sometimes you got a pop-up which warns you from a danger, and this is this sixth sense which warns you of a danger, and you know that you got to be very careful to avoid it. We wanted to use the windowing in all the pop-ups. And that was very useful because when you're on FPS, you don't have a global overview of the scene. The camera is like the height of the characters, so it's very difficult to see something which is very far away from you. And with the pop-ups, we could show something the character cannot see. So you can see events which are arriving meters and meters away from you, but you can see them. And it's really important because sometimes you can put in advance a future event you will meet in a few meters or something like that. So we really could do and develop new scripted events. By the way, also we could put in advance some elements. Generally in FPS you can not see every useful element like a key or like a secret path, and we could, with the pop-ups, really focus on something so that the player never feel lost and never spend hours and hours to find the secret path behind the door and whatever. For the all the multiplayer aspect, we really wanted to find the same fun feeling as we had when players played GoldenEye and N64. But furthermore, we wanted to have the same fun for the online. So obviously we worked on split screen, but also online, and really took advantages of the Xbox communicator. It's really fun when you play FPS, capture the flag, a team deathmatch with a communicator. We wanted something really simple. We wanted something really fast and simple rather than strategic, like a Ghost Recon or something like that. We wanted the fun, and I think that the graphic style really had to do that because there's so much contrasted colors that you always know where you are. You never feel lost in the level, so you know exactly where you are. You can really take advantages of the level. The secondary characters are really important in 13, and I think it was the first time in the FPS where we had such important secondary characters. Generally, like Duke Nukem, you got Duke Nukem and no one else. And here it was the contrary, because you begin with a hero which has no background, and you would discover this background thanks to these secondary characters. So that's why we wanted to put them in advance to highlight them. And we came to the idea of doing such thing like in Hollywood movies. So we tried to find important actors that could highlight them. So that's why we had the idea of hiring Adam West. And for us it was really important because it was a reference to the old Batman and movies and TV series. And everybody in the team watched it, especially the graphic team. And that was very funny for us. And also wanted to highlight Jones, which is a really original woman. She's a military woman. She's very she likes to fight. She's black, and she's flirting with 13 without being so clear with him. And she's really not the typical woman in video games. She really has her feeling and characters. And that's why we came to the idea of having someone really with a good voice, a rap girl, Eve. That was really cool.